Hey everybody, welcome back to the Airsoftology Q&A show, the show that answers your questions, helps you out in a pinch, and yes, is back on Mondays, finally. I know you've been enjoying picking on me for the past 3 weeks while I've been traveling, but I am back, and that means I'm back on schedule. See, things are back to normal, except, again, if you guys recall, I'm pretty jet lagged again. So on the flip side, I've got to recover. I just can't win, I tell you. Anyway, welcome back to the show. By the way, speaking of jet lag, I will be at Airsoft Con this year. Again, every year I will not miss this one. This Airsoft Con and SHOT Show are like the two big ones, and IWA as well, 3. So if you guys aren't familiar with Airsoft Con is, also known as EVIC Con, it's the big Airsoft convention in October. It's gonna be October 19th at the EVIC Superstore in Alhambra, California, United States of America. Please come out. It is definitely worth doing. There'll be panels. I'll be able to talk. I'm going to walk around. I'm going to do some live streaming this year. Lots of things going on. Definitely the place to go. I actually spend my time walking around the crowds. I want to go, I'm out there, I'm not like hiding up somewhere, except for his panel time, I'll sit up there. And I just want to meet everybody. I really, and I mean this, for those of you who have been there, you can attest to this, I love to walk around and talk to every single person. So please, come on out. It'll be a whole lot of fun if you've never been. If you have been, you know what kind of fun it is. Also, don't forget, I got a web store if you guys want to support the channel. That's how you do it. Links in the corner. Cool web store. I get cool custom morale patches up there. All free shipping worldwide, always. So no matter where you can get them shipped in. They help to go support the show, and you get something cool in return. Also, real quick before we get to the questions, which are all coming from the comment section of last week. This is how this show works. I did want to mention a little bit about last week's question. I only did one question last week. First time I think I've ever done that. And it was a doozy. I did say there'll be a part 2, and there absolutely is. I'm waiting for all the companies to get me their replies that are involved here, and I'm gathering more information to get the bigger picture. A lot of you have been reading me on environmental concerns and things like that. I've been doing some research. I really want to bring the right information to you on this one. So stay tuned. I'm getting as much, some of the companies involved have been very forthcoming and have provided me with all of their information, including their vendors, which is surprising. And then some I'm having to work some NDA things with. They want to keep their vendors on the private side, which I totally understand, but I really am trying to get to the bottom of all the materials that everyone's using. I think that's something important, that we do have some semblance of transparency in that, because let's face it, there is severe environmental impact involved. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I talked about BBs being biodegradable and compostable, and you guys can watch that show, that actual full episode from last week. I'll have a link down below, and I'll put one up here too in the corner if you guys want to click it and just jump back and then come back to this one. Anyway, enough about all that. Let's dive into what you're really here for, and that's week's questions, right? We're gonna do a bunch of them this week, and this week's Tippmann mail call. God's warrior in the rain, right? What about the law that's about to be passed in Massachusetts that will ban airsoft? Well, if you look at it, it's back. This is kind of like the version of the ugly one that reared its head in California a long time ago that eventually was evolved into the rainbow gun law and then eventually became the tape law that we have now in California, United States. Massachusetts is effectively trying to remove the terminology around the imitation firearm and make them illegal to own, or basically put them in the same category as a real firearm. So there's no such thing as imitation firearm anymore, like orange tips, with the exception of using them for theatrical performances, meaning you can use them for movie film shoots, and that's it. And you have to, and also if you lie about it being used for a movie film shoot, that's punishable as well. That actually has a clause in there that says, well, you can't just say you're gonna be doing a movie film shoot, like for theatrical performances. So yeah, we're looking at an effective airsoft ban in Massachusetts, an entire state in the United States. Now, there are some regions that already do have airsoft bans, New York City being the most notable. Not New York State, but New York City. Having, owning, selling, possessing, or transporting an airsoft gun through New York City, the actual city, the 5 boroughs, is effectively illegal, has a criminal penalty and all that involved. I think you can transport through kind of like federal firearms laws, like if you're going from point A to point B and you have to pass through there, it's okay. You're it's just a transport thing, you just kind of cut through, but I think that's about it. And that's kind of the spirit of the law, not the letter of the law. So here we are again, another state looking to do it. I don't understand why. There's already things about brightly colored. They already have law in place that says, brightly colored guns, orange tips, blocked barrels, all those things. And here we are, a state trying to go through and squash our hobby and sport that we love and play effectively and fun. I've got friends that play Airsoft in Massachusetts. I've been to Mass a bunch. There's some great places in Massachusetts. I really love it. I mean, it's an awesome state. And it really breaks my heart that this is happening. So that said, like always, let's rally the troops, circle the wagons, and we need to get behind this. And the idea of, well, it's not in California, it won't affect me. All it takes is the first state to fall in the United States. And then it's a chain reaction. And then other countries will look and go, America, very pro-gun, but now they're outlawing airsoft, and it's going to be a chain reaction around the globe. You wonder what's in it for you. I'm not just raising hysteria. I'm not saying, Jonathan, you're being overdramatic. No, I'm not. That's how these things happen. It's just little by little. Politicians want an anti-gun win. They can't beat the gun lobbies, so this is what we end up with, is this. So it's a tough one. I'll put the link. Some of you guys actually sent me the links about the bill. We're going to follow it as it goes. Please, if you are Massachusetts, you need to write your state senator and state legislature. It is in committee at this point, meaning that it's gone through the first reading in the House and the Senate, and it's been referred to the Safety Committee, which is going to be handling this, like the Safety and Homeland Security Committee. They'll be reading it, they'll form the bill, chew it over, then spit it back out to the House and the Senate for a full vote. Then it goes on to the governor to be signed. That's kind of the basic process of how these things work. But effectively, the way it's written, Airsoft will not be able to be sold or distributed or anything in the state of Mass. And if you guys don't know, Mass is probably one of the most restrictive gun law states in the United States. So it's not surprising they're trying to push this through here. Massachusetts actually has one of the most stringent gun laws out of any of the state as a whole out there, with the exception of a few others. But they do have some really, really, really strict ones. So it's not surprising, but again, disheartening. So please, if you guys and gals live in the area, rally the troops. I call out to all the companies, the manufacturers, the makers that affect around the world, realize that this is the beginning of how things get chipped away and eroded and start to take away what we do. We're kind of dealing with something not this extreme, but something here in Taiwan that's similar. It's kind of a law being passed through that's on the same breadth of dealing with airsoft and the legality of it, which would be terrible if that thing went through. So anyway, please, please, please do your best. Like I said, this is my challenge to every airsoft company to please get behind some sort of lobby organization to help fight this one. And stay tuned. I'll keep you guys and gals posted on how this thing progresses. Admiral Boss writes, what are your thoughts on tanks or armored vehicles in airsoft games? They are awesome. I love them as long as there's a check and balance process involved. The thing here is, when you have something that powerful, with like walls, and you can have little slits to cut out or a big cannon on top, it's really easy just to go through and just rip through tons and tons and tons of players. And while it's a fun experience for those 3 or 4 people or 2 people that are in that tank or armored vehicle, it's a terrible experience for the rest of everybody out there just getting chewed apart by an armored vehicle. So as long as there is a good balance to this, a way to take it out, limited fuel, limited time on the field, just some way from a balancing factor. Like, you don't have to run up and tap it. Maybe you've got rocket launchers. Now, all of you that invested in M203 grenade launchers or 40mm grenade launchers standalone, or like to go on your AKs or M4s, then you have a reason. Right? Now you've got a reason to use it. You put a little Nerf rocket in there, thump, take it out, boom, you got it. Use your tagging rounds, heck, even make it where you can shoot one of those. Even use 40 mics, that'd be a good effective, because some of the 40 mics have a very long range, and they would know, let's say there's no full auto allowed, and they just get blasted with like 100 BBs in like a split second. They're really gonna know, well, I got hit by a 40 mic, we're dead. Give it some sort of balancing factor, so the tank has to be scared too and isn't just armored up and impervious, kind of like Juggernaut games. They just walk through like there's nothing wrong. They need to have a fear factor on their side too. There needs to be that Achilles heel, that weak spot. So there's actually always concern. There has to be some skill involved on both sides to balance this thing out, and I think it's a great thing. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle writes, so yes, milsim and speedsoft are different, but airsoft is airsoft, and both take a part in keeping manufacturers producing more merch, tech, and guns. So should fields start taking the lead in the two sides supporting each other? Now there are some fields I think, I want to take a step back. There are a lot of great fields out there. There's a lot of great indoor fields, some great outdoor fields. I think the fields that do the best, letting both sides live in this coexisting environment, are the ones that have some paintball experience. Because paintball has been through this. You had speedball and you have woodsball, or it was called different things back when I played a long time ago. But there was always speedball courses, and there was woodsball games, and you could sit the other one out, or you could go play one. They were running concurrently. The people that wanted to play one played one. The ones that play the other played the other, and that was it. I mean, if you look at games, look at fields like SC Village or any of the stuff in California. A lot of the paintball fields have all those options. Speedball fields, inflatable ones, all that small, fast CQB stuff, and then the other one. A lot of indoor fields are becoming more speed, soft oriented. I've noticed that's been the trend just because that's the type of field that lends better for that type of play. I mean, let's face it, there's a reason people do it, because it works. I mean, that's an effective tactic. It's an effective way to play. And when you go out and play milsim events and big outdoor fields, playing that way doesn't work, and vice versa. That's the thing. Both are good in their own way. I think both are great. And I do agree with you that fields should do what they can with the resources they have to accommodate both play styles. Maybe have speedsoft games, have smaller fields for quick speed QB battles if they have the real estate and the space to do it, and then bigger areas to play more skirmish style stuff, and maybe change some of the requirements, about how you can play semi-auto, full auto, different kind of stuff like that to make sure that one lends itself for the other. I think it's definitely possible. And I think fields should take the responsibility to do that. But again, it's all about the local community. Some communities are much more speedsoft focused. Some are more skirmish type play focused. Some are a little more milsim or milsim light. There's only so much milsim you can do without going to a true milsim event. It's more skirmish styles, we'd call it. That when you look at all of them, I think finding a good balance for the community that your field is in is the smartest thing. All right, that's it for questions this week, which means it is time for the Code Red Headsets video recommendation of the week. Jonathan, use your words. This one comes from Gahos, I think. Gahos, I hope I pronounced your name right. It says, video of the week, Airsoft Next Inc. With a big smiley face. And that's it. And I'll tell you what, I checked out the channel. I'm going to go and click here off on the side. And definitely a cool channel. This one's out of Poland. And these guys are doing some fun stuff. They have some high rate of fire stuff. So if you're into that sort of thing, I'm not highlighting that video right now, but they do have some stuff on the channel where they're running literally dual MP7s that are HPA. They're like, it's insane. I'm not gonna show you that one because I know it'll be like, Jonathan, why are you supporting it? I think it's just kind of cool. For those of you that are into that, if your field allows it, you know me, I'm a rate of fire guy. I'm like, there should be a limit. I feel like, on rate of fire, unless everybody's playing, understands the rules, that's it. But there's a lot of other good stuff. A little mix of like reviews, some gameplay, funny stuff, good editing, great transitions. Definitely a good channel. And it doesn't matter, it's from Poland because it's Airsoft. It's universal language, right? We all speak it, we all share it. And another great channel from a totally different country around the world. I love all these recommendations. I know, I'm like, every week I'm like saying the same thing. I love it, but I do love it. I really think it's fantastic that there's so many similarities about how we all do Airsoft around the world, regardless of whatever country and region or area you live in. There's a lot of similarities, but there's those little differences you can catch too. And we get to see fields and the game styles and play that are acceptable in different areas. And that's why I always want to keep doing this. So anyway, if you guys haven't checked out the channel, definitely worth a watch. Airsoft Next Inc. If you guys have it, of course, the link would have popped up already. If you like what you see over there, go ahead and watch the video on their channel. If you like it, mash the sub button and put the comments down below that I sent you over there. Also, if you have a channel that you want to highlight, a channel you love to watch, or even your own Airsoft channel, don't forget to put it in the comment section below as well with your questions for next week. Be persistent, vote up those favorite ones. I will do my best. I also dig deep, even the ones that don't get voted up all the way. I do read way down and check those out every single week and try to get the best of the questions and videos for every single week, and be persistent. Sometimes I can't recommend all the great channels. I have to only do one a week. We want to keep those things going, so please be persistent every single week recommending your favorites, including your own. So anyway, until next time, go out, play some Airsoft, have some fun, but no matter what you do, mash the sub button here too if you guys want to get updates every single week, and call your freaking hits.